Hi, my name is Yasu, and I live in Japan, and I am visiting Tokyo, and I just went to the expo in Osaka, and surprisingly, it was actually amazing, so much fun, and yeah, it was something that I wanted to do, and I needed to actually go there to look for what might be happening in the near future and everything. And it gave me a lot of perspectives and then learnings and then so on. I might probably I should make a video about why I went there and what I have learned and my intakes and everything from the expo. But anyway, today's video is to answer a question from the comment on my YouTube channel, one of the videos, which is the since you're suffering from very severe withdrawal symptoms, by stop taking the effexor completely, do you still work? What about work? That's the question. And my answer is that I still work, but I heavily rely on the AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and then GenSpark. And then I think in some way that really helped me to get through that tough time in the first 2 months of the after I stopped taking the effexor, as well as at some degree my productivity is not as bad as I originally expected, and in some way I think it really got improved because I had no choice but simply rely on the AI to do a lot of outputs and everything, even communicating with the coworkers and also the clients as well. So that's really the answer. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I'm not sure. I didn't take any break while I was still suffering from so much withdrawals, very severe withdrawal symptoms, and so on. And I'm not sure if I took like a month or 2 months off and I make sure that I get through everything and then get back to work afterwards. Would that help me better? I'm not sure. Because when I was initially suffering from the depressions and then started to taking the medications, and then I asked for like a month or 2 months leaves and everything. And when I finally got the, I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks off, I got crushed. Like my symptoms got worsened, which really surprised me. But it kind of makes sense though, because back then I was dealing with those depressions and everything. Everything is so new. And also, I was working and I had to really, really stand up and try to tough up and try to be strong as much as possible. But once I didn't have to work, everything just all came back to me. And then probably the guard that I built for myself, it collapsed. And then it really crushed me so hard. So if I would take like a month or 2 months off this time to adjust myself to the new state, which I don't take the effects anymore, the same or similar things might happen. I'm not sure. But this time, I really knew that I would actually suffer from the withdrawal symptoms because of the experience that I suffered from the withdrawal symptoms every time I reduced the amount of effexor. So I was really kind of like the train my those AI, and it's not like prompt, but it has a memory functionality that if I am in a certain kind of situations to deal with certain kind of tasks, my AI knows exactly what kind of response I would actually come up with. So all I had to do is to put informations of what is going on and then ask the AI to come up with the outcomes as they are me. And it actually worked really well. Of course, I didn't include a crucial part of the informations in the AIs and everything to come up with those outcomes and everything, outputs and everything. But still, it really saved a lot of my brain powers and then cognitive functionality. So even though I was suffering from the withdrawal symptoms, still, my brain capacity is really limited. But still, with all the supports and everything with the AIs, it really, really helped me in a way that I could still function to do almost all of the jobs and everything. The only thing that I can probably say is that I started to stop taking the effexor from the end of March, but especially in March, I was fully capable and fully functionable, and I was fully already utilizing the AIs and everything. So if compared to that, my productivity should be and must be less, because like the beginning of March or like middle of March, like I was allocating all of my cognitive powers into something that I really need to think, and all of those like routine works and how do I say it? Like routine tasks, anything that requires a little bit cognitive brain power, but simply allocate everything, almost everything, into the AI, and I can solely focus on more like the, how do I say, strategic and problem solving issues, and then also like the physical tasks. Back then, my productivity and efficiency of works and everything are much higher, I think. But after I stopped taking effexor, suffering from the very severe withdrawal symptoms, me myself couldn't really function well. Or like I need to really save my brain power and only use that power when it's really necessary to do so. And in some way, I think I actually made it happen that it's okay for me to rely on AI heavily. And it's not easy, but it was doable because I've been using AI for like, I don't know, like how 3, 4, 5 years and so on. And then I was kind of trying to copy myself into it. It sounds really funny, and it's not really, it didn't really work that way. But once it's gotten improved to a certain level, in some way, when I ask AI, if you were me, how would you actually come up with what kind of solutions, or like how would you actually respond to this one? And then the response would be quite similar as if I am the one who actually responded to it. But one thing interesting is that I've been influenced by AI as well. So my output and my responses to those kind of circumstances could becoming like AI solving the situations, because it's not one way. I can influence AI, I can teach AI, I can educate the AI, but doing so, I need to adjust all of the answers and responses from AI, which has been affecting me. So it's kind of in a funny situations that now whenever like I speak and chat and communicate with AIs all the time, and then I don't really feel like I'm speaking with AIs. It's just I'm really feel like communicating in deeply in my private life and then like work life and everything with the trusted partner kind of thing. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. And in some way that's how much I am addicted to the AI, rely on the AI. And then maybe because of that, I could still work when I was really suffering from the withdrawal symptoms. But there's a downside though. Actually, no downside, but AI cannot really fix everything or support me everything. So because I knew that withdrawal symptom would actually happen to me, I reschedule, and I was very careful with schedule my meetings and then like tasks that I need to physically get involved, but no way for me to avoid it completely. So when there's a meeting that I need to physically attend, or like any kind of physical activities or physical events that I must to be a part of it, I knew that it's gonna require me a lot of brain powers and everything. So I have to be very careful about how to prepare myself for it. And while I was actually doing so, very exciting, but very tiring. And then afterwards, I got crushed. And I had to actually consider that part as well to make all of the plans, which was really tiring because already like I was suffering from the withdrawal symptoms and my brain couldn't really work well. So it was a very tough situations for me to deal with a lot of activities in the physical world. But in an indirect way, the AI really supported me because most of the tasks that didn't require me physically, it was really done with by the AIs, and then I didn't really have to use all of my brain powers. And I think this question was given to me by someone who suffer from the withdrawal symptoms and then find it harder for him or her to go to work and then work effectively. If and then my answer, like this one, it's not for everyone. It's just that I happen to be in a very fortunate situations that really um, allows me to use AI and then just complete a lot of things with AIs and everything. And I understand that it's not for everyone. So yeah, I'm not sure if my experience is something that people can apply for themselves when they're in a similar situations. But my main point here is that when we suffer from withdrawal symptoms, my brain power, cognitive abilities are super limited. And it's not like always limited. There's a time that it can work better, there's a time that it really doesn't work, and then like no matter how hard we try to think, it just our brain just wouldn't work, and it frustrates me and it frustrates you guys as well. And there's nothing that we can do unless someone else does that work for you or AI does that work for you. Although even let's say AI creates the outputs for you, you still need little bit cognitive brain used to brain power to check everything, make sure that the output is actually the right one. So regardless, we need to make sure that we have brain power when even we are suffering from the withdrawal symptoms, and to make sure that we have at least certain kind of brain or cognitive functions, like even like 1 hour, 2 hours a day. We really must give our brains rest as much as possible when we suffer from the withdrawal symptoms. And then having the brain get enough rest means we just need to sleep as much as possible. Yeah. So that's how I dealt with it. And hopefully, for those people that can actually apply what I have done, please consider using it. And regardless you suffer from the visual symptoms or not, AI is really shaping our world in a very different ways, and it really helps people's efficiency and productivity to keep increasing and increasing. And there is a wide gap between the people who do not use AI and the people who use AI more effectively. How much we can learn, how much we can advance ourselves, how much we can study, how much we can work. The difference is it's just way too big to ignore. And you don't really have to try and start using AI to prepare for the time that you suffer from the visual symptoms. I think in general life, if we start using AI, you can make a lot of things more efficient. But please be careful to be addicted to AI. Or at least I can really feel that I am so addicted to AI. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please take care. じゃあね、バイバイ。